Just giving everybody a couple of minutes to get here if anybody's going to be on live. Checking to see if I had any messages. All right, this is being recorded, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Thank you guys for watching the replay. Tonight should be a pretty quick conversation. I forgot to grab something. There it is. So Tuesday training has been, the last 3 weeks has been doing a refocus on the catalog conversation. Sometimes after that initial boost of a new catalog and all the LTOs we have going on, that the catalog itself actually gets a little bit buried sometimes. We get excited about all the new, and we focus less on everything else. But we've been doing this refocus on the catalog. We started a couple of weeks ago talking about the flagship products, warmers and wax. And then last week we talked about clean laundry and something else. I can't remember. Body, clean laundry and body. And then today we're going to talk about kids and pets. And I think this is probably an area that's, pets is one of the really new products. The kids line have actually been around 11 years. They started with Scentsy Buddies the fall before I joined. I mean, technically when I joined, it was still in that fall catalog, but I believe they launched that September in 2010 with the very first Scentsy Buddy. And oh my, have we come a long way since then. But just to give you guys a heads up, we will be discussing fundraisers next week. I'm going to touch on it just a little bit tonight, but then Karen Fettis is going to be on the, Tuesday training next week. And she's going to talk pretty in depth about fundraisers. So I will bring that to you guys here. Sorry, I've got something like in my eye or on my eyelash. That's what happens when I dig around in dirt. But there is a beginner's guide to fundraising document on the workstation. If that's something you want to start getting into, it kind of gives you the do's and the don'ts and some ideas. If you want to check that out, it may be linked. It's probably linked when I shared the weekly learning plan link stuff. Weekly learning plan. It's a big long thing. I think I posted it yesterday. It's not on the Tuesday training one. It was the other one that I posted yesterday. But just throwing some ideas out there for fundraisers for kids line. You can talk to schools. You can talk to your sports clubs. I can tell you those travel teams get expensive. And I would hazard to guess that, just the regular city whatever is not cheap. But those traveling teams, I know, get really, really expensive. In Arkansas, it's like AAU ball. And there's other entities that are travel teams that get really expensive. And then maybe even like mission trips or that sort of thing that could utilize our kids line for a fundraiser. As far as the pets line go, vet clinics, rescues. I mean, I follow a few rescues. We have a rescue kitty, and I follow a couple of those, and they do fairly well with donations of the things that they need. But at the same time, you know how it is with a nonprofit, they could almost always use more, right? So and the key there is, do you have a relationship with one of that? It's not necessarily something you just want to just spontaneously say, oh, hello. Build a relationship, follow them, maybe get to know them online. Maybe go talk to them in person. I mean, it's okay to do a cold call if you're bold enough for that kind of thing, but it's also very helpful if you know somebody that works at a local vet clinic. Maybe it's a clinic that offers some sort of pro bono services. I know we have a clinic in Springdale that does all the spay neuters for the rescue where we got our cat from. So you could talk to any of those kind of things. Maybe also animal shelters. I didn't write that down, but animal shelters as well. Just kind of a tag along in there. There may be more on my notes, but the guest speaker today was Brianna Engel. She is a SSD who lives in Central California, a stay-at-home mom. Her husband is in law enforcement. And one of the things she started out saying is, I think is really important, really worth repeating. And I will say this also, a lot of what she talks about can be duplicatable to other lines in the business. But one of the things she talked about right off the bat was, don't forget about the categories that you do not personally use. We get so caught up in all of our favorite things, the things that are, within reach. I mean, I could sit at my desk and easily grab, 2 products. I can touch another one, but I'm not going to drag it over here because it's warmer. Trying to see if there's anything else within reach. Nope. But you kind of get so used to sharing the things that you're used to sharing because it's what you use every day. Don't forget to share the things that you don't use, because there may be somebody out there who, may still be completely in love in their candles, so they don't want to hear about wax and warmers, but maybe they have a heck of a time keeping their dog smelling good. Or maybe they got a kid who's fussy at night, and loves their lovies, whatever the case may be. You just never know what's going to spark somebody else's interest, and it may be where you least expect it. It may be somebody that's poo-pooed your business, and then all of a sudden they're like, you sell dog shampoo? I mean, even my dad today, he actually called while I was in the middle of doing this training, and I had to send him, and he sent me a text. I'm like, I'm in the little training for another 20 minutes. When we finally talked, I was trying to tell him, he goes, well, did you learn all the things? I was like, yeah, I know all about pet stuff now. He goes, pet? I was like, yeah, dogs, cats, your pets. He didn't know we had a pet line. That's, my father and I don't discuss Scentsy. It's a long, sorted story. But, and you may have friends on your, sorry, my phone's being weird. How do I make it stop doing that? There we go. There may be friends on your list or who aren't aware of it is either. So keep that in mind. So that does not mean that you stop sharing your favorite things and share them redundantly. Brianna specifically mentioned the Scentsy Fresh, and her hashtag is make it and spray it, apparently, because Sarah Walker mentioned it. Make it and spray it. Every day she has to make the bed, and she's created a habit around it where she sprays the bed. And every day she makes a video or a picture of some making it and spraying it. This is actually something I have just recently started. I actually caught it from Brittany Clapp because she was doing it. Probably shares about it once a week or once every other week. But I'm like, oh, that's clever. I like that. So I've started doing it, and I really enjoy it, y'all. Just saying. Fantastic. I use lavender cotton, and I got into bed last night. It's one of those things that just total bunny trail. I don't think I noticed it at first, but last night I really did. Like, oh, it's almost like crawling into fresh sheets. Awesome. So still share redundantly the things that you absolutely use on the regular, the things you do all of the time. Here is kind of the other side of that. In her videos or in her picture of her made bed is her Hamish, the Highland cow, because she is Highland cow obsessed, hopes to someday have an entire real life herd. Right now she's got the Buddy, and I think she has 3 of the Buddy clips, one on her purse and one in her car, and I think she said one somewhere else. And so that's, I mean, it's a real personal thing to her, but it's also always in that picture, and as she's saying that, I'm thinking, it's like, okay, I've got a whole wall of Buddies in my bedroom. I have a diffuser in my bedroom, how can I angle that picture? I need to go clean up the buddies and make them look nicer, which is absolutely a cue for my daughter to play with them. And I need to make sure that the diffuser's visible. I need to clean up my nightstand a little bit. So just throwing that out there. And kind of the thing is, a question to ask yourself is, do you live the Scentsy life? If there is a Scentsy product available in whatever you use, do you use it? You know, what bathroom cleaner do you use? What do you use? A Scentsy Fresh? Are you using Febreze? Do you use candles instead of warmers? Do you use Young Living diffusers instead of Scentsy diffusers? You know, I know there's an expense there, but that's where gathering orders and using those host rewards to be able to purchase things to use yourself is important, because it's hard to share about things that you don't have personal experience with. And if you're limiting yourself to just warmers and wax, you're also limiting your customer base. You're limiting your reach, because not everybody's going to want warmers and wax. Some people aren't interested in those other things. And it's, as we talk about, it's more authentic if you share yourself using them as opposed to just asking them to buy it. So do you live the Scentsy life? If I come into your house and I take pictures in, you know, can I walk around your house and find a Scentsy product in every room? I know that's kind of bold. Can I at least find it in half of the rooms of your house? I'm trying to think right now because I'm walking through my house and there's not a room in my house that doesn't have Scentsy products. And most of them have multiples. And granted, I've been doing this a long time, but that's part of it too. It's how we get to authentically share, right? All right. See things in the pics even beyond the main focus. That's the Hamish. It's also a good conversation starter. And if you have one right now, it's a real good conversation starter. He is one of the ones that is in the Bring Back My Buddy. Don't know when they're coming back, sometime this fall, I think it was. But if somebody's like, oh, I need one, you can like, I'll put you on my list. If you can't wait, you can get the buddy clip now. So that's thought process. Now, there is also a situation where you don't have kids and pets, right? That's kind of a problem. I don't have a dog. And I am embarrassed to say that I kind of use that as an excuse for I don't use the pet shampoo. I do use the detangler on my child, and I have shared that on occasion. I've used the Freshen Up Pup on the cat. It worked, sort of. But here's one of the things that I really liked, and I'm going to try to do this, was ask friends to review make pet samples. You can also buy pet samples in the Scentsy Success store, the consultant store. If you have friends with pets, ask them to borrow it. I mean, I am going to ask my dad. I'm actually going to make him a little spray bottle of the Freshen Up Pup, and I'm going to ask him to use it. I'm also going to give him a little bottle of the shampoo. I don't think he shampoos their dog that often because she just goes and gets groomed. But as we're going into spring and summer, she will get naughty and she will go roll in something and he will inevitably have to wash her. So I think I'm going to make him up some samples just because. But I have friends who have dogs and be like, hey, would you mind trying this out for me and let me know what you think? I've got a whole set. You can see it back there. A whole set that I haven't used. So I'm going to do that. So asking your friends to review, give them the samples, ask them for a review. I've heard really amazing things about the shampoo. I will tell you that, and the Freshen Up Pup. One girl was a vet tech. She's like, "Oh, it's the best stuff ever." So just putting that out there. I've heard really, really good things about it. Even Sarah was talking about, she goes, I've tried a lot of different things, and I've tried even after the pet stuff came out. She goes, and I keep coming back to the Scentsy stuff because it's just so much better. And she started the conversation about using the detangler in people hair because she's used it too. If you don't have kids, have you ever used the kids line as a giftable? Or do you talk to people who could use it as a giftable as well? Buddy clips are relatively inexpensive. They're $15. I think the Blanky Buddies are have to make sure I've got the right catalog. Now that I have one that actually has, American pricing. Just to keep bringing up my blunder, right? Yeah, the buddy clips are 15, and they're cute. The elephant, cow, the other cow, turtle. Where's the blankie? Oh, we got rid of blankie buddies, didn't we? Inside kicks. Well, that's just sad. Anyway, go with the clips. Gift those, and she suggested maybe even a $5 or $10 gift card to buy ice cream, and that's a really cute little giftable because they come in really neat little packages. I don't have any back there. Actually, I know where there's one at, but I'm not going to go dig it out because it was on this table behind me and it fell. But they're really neat little round containers. So even if you don't have children, talk to your friends who do have kids, see if they've got buddies, ask them to take pictures, or ask them if you could do a little photo shoot. You will gift them the pictures if they are okay with you using it for marketing and using their testimonial. Give it as a gift, that sort of thing. So, another thing, if you don't personally have kids, pets, kids, it's not really something you can sample out. We talked about asking specifically, but also keep in mind, if you just know they have pets, it's okay to drop that in their next order, or whenever their order comes up and you're getting ready to deliver it, send them a text message. Hey, I've got some of our pet line samples. Can I drop a couple in there for you? Or if you just know, drop it in and tell them after the fact, excuse to follow up. So don't hesitate. And that's another one of those, I think, ideas that is good across the board. If you've got somebody that's just all they buy is wax, they've got all the warmers they want, they buy wax every time they order, drop them a sample of something different. Maybe if they're Luna fanatics, give them a sample of something in Luna. I've kind of been doing that a little bit, trying to sway people towards some of the other products. You can also make stickers, or include in the note, hey, this scent also comes in, and make a list of all of the things. So don't be afraid to just drop free samples in those orders that you are personally delivering. It cuts down on shipping, for one thing. It's good for those door drops. I'm having a margarita. Forgive me. Another opportunity conversation to have when it comes to fundraising. A lot of consultants do buddy drives. Again, make sure you read the beginner's guide to fundraising so you know what the rules are, what you can and can't do before you launch into one of these. But Brianna was talking about that there's a local church that she works with every year, that every Christmas season, I think she said they do backpacks or suitcases for foster kids. So she will do a buddy drive to also include buddy clips in with that gift as well. And I think somebody else said they did that with their church too. I've also heard of people doing those for law enforcement, and you need to talk to people before you just launch into it. But I've also heard of a lot of police departments now will carry around stuffed animals if they get donated to them to hand to kids who are in the midst of trauma of whatever reason. I mean, obviously, if police are involved, there's going to be trauma for a kid, whether it's a domestic situation or it's going into, being moved into foster situation, or it's just a car accident. It's a little something they can give the kid. Kind of bridges that gap of trust between, law enforcement and a child. And sometimes they just need something to cuddle because they're freaking out and they're scared to death. You know what I mean? And then children's hospitals are really big for doing buddy drives. But again, make sure you read up on all the rules before you just launch into that. People are more likely to do those around Christmas time, but all of those places are having kids in and out of their systems every single day. So you don't have to wait till Christmas. Last, but certainly not least, make sure you are including the kid and pet lines in all of your marketing plans. I don't know how you do your marketing plan, but make sure it's part of it. I know I am really, really, really bad about just getting stuck on doing the same family of products over and over and over and over and over again, because I just do. It's that going into your comfort zone. This is what I use. It's easy for me to give a testimony. There's limited kid products. So I don't talk about those as much, maybe. But she also mentioned, kid products doesn't just have to be about the buddies and buddy clips. It can also be about the Disney line, Marvel. She talked about the Marvel warmer and the Winnie the Pooh warmer, and then we've got the vintage Mickey and Minnie buddies. Trying to think of what else is in the catalog. I just looked. You would think I would know. But keeping those as part of the conversation, but also look at products that are scents that are good for kids. Newborn Nursery is great for somebody having a baby. Jamie Tom is amazing. If they have a diffuser, the calming oil category is really, really, really good. I'm looking to see if they have the one I have in mind before I say it out loud. Twinkle Twinkle, they do. Twinkle Twinkle. That one goes in my kids a lot. I also love the Lemon Lavender Rain and the Jasmine White Tea. Calming is probably my favorite. So those are other ways to kind of think outside the box when you're creating these kid-centered, kid-focused marketing. It's not just about the products that we say are kid line. Think about scents also that are helpful. Maybe even wall fans, because Brianna talked about having a toddler who's running around his room all the time. So she took out warmer and she added the wall fan because it's kid safe. And she said actually what she does is Friday is her kid post a day. And she, like I'm saying, tries to think outside the box, do different things, and not just focused on the stuffed animals. You can do the same thing with the pet, or maybe you switch it up every other. I know, as she mentions, like some of you love the scheduling, having a routine thing. Just make sure you don't forget to include those products that you may or may not use often, or don't necessarily wait for an LTO for a kid-focused product. But she kind of does a kid takeover on Fridays and focuses on something either that they're loving or is in their space or that kind of thing. So that is all for kids and pets. Like I said, next week will be, one other thing. I'm going to bring it up every daggum time. Best $2 you can spend right here. Product training guide. There's sales tips. It's fresh information every catalog season. Pet is on 23 and 24. It's also got really useful information if you are asked questions. For example, our pet products are 100% vegan, made with gentle fragrances and formulated specifically for a pet's sensitive skin. Sorry, needed to wet my whistle. And then we talked about clean and body. Those are in here. Laundry's in here. And then there's the pages on kid. 13, 14 talks about those. Even talks about the Bitty Buddies. Those keep coming up fairly often. Easters are sold out though. So there's that. If you don't want to spend the $2 for this, all you have to do is go to your workstation, type product training guide in the search field, and you can get a PDF of this and download it, put it on your computer for reference. But it's just such a wealth of good information, y'all. The other thing I was going to talk about today was that was most of it. I did want to mention we finally have people comment on the Stomp the Zero. So yay. Kind of had to prompt some people a little bit. Cow prod out. Just teasing. I I will be doing a post probably tomorrow. I went to the wrong place. Trying to see how many we have now. Ooh, my nose. It's getting to be about time to put the windows back down. Joseph sneezing and my nose is twitching. So we currently have 24 people who have stomped the 0. So that is 44% of the group. Woohoo! So tomorrow, I will probably do a really quick video, and I don't know if you can see it back there. Whoop, it's hard to do this. That box right there is actually 2 boxes. One is a box full of prizes. The other is going to be the point that where I transfer the potential prizes into the what has actually been earned. And I put that in quotes just because, you know, it's not done yet, obviously. And definitely it has been earned by whomever wins the prize at the end of the month. But it's not the final. But we're already in 40%. And I'm trying to remember, I think that means 3. 3 prizes can go in there. I'm going to double check what I said because I can't remember. $20, $30, $40. Yep. So I will get to put 3 prizes in there tomorrow. So that is super exciting. The other thing, if you haven't checked the Facebook group or your email, I started a March Madness challenge today. I am an absolute March Madness NCAA men's basketball tourney fanatic. I am a tried and true, born and raised Arkansas Razorback fan, which probably started my love of this tournament. But even the last several years where our basketball team has absolutely stunk, I still get way excited about the tournament. Best 3 weekends. It's probably as dumb as this sounds. I missed, of course, I missed church number 1. The 6 weeks that we didn't have church, 6-8 weeks we didn't have, I think it was just 6 weeks. But for me, not having the tournament was my big from 2020. I mean, I am not trying to dismiss those who have lost loved ones or anything like that, but it was kind of my very shallow, very, not even really materialistic, but my personal just out of last year and I think that was probably when I realized just how big a deal this was. This meaning the pandemic was when they canceled that tournament. I'm like, that was probably my big boohoo, my first big boohoo moment of I want my tournament. Anyway, in light of all of that, I thought it would be just fun. There's, it's not about earning prizes. There's no money involved. It's really just a fun opportunity to do something. I'm sure, those of us who sign up for it, I will be doing stuff, making some posts about it on the Facebook group, just kind of celebrating who's doing what and just having a chance to enjoy each other's company and some fellowship on something other than Cincy. And you don't have to love basketball. Even if you're remotely, I mean, you don't even have to be super competitive. It gets just really fun. As a matter of fact, Aiden and Riley and Joseph and I have done brackets several years. And Riley, she picks based on mascots. And Aiden is getting to the point now where he's a lot more engaged and involved and kind of knows what's going on in basketball. We will do brackets and see who does the best. And it's funny because by the time the 3rd weekend rolls around, we don't even finish out and see who wins because we're both busted. We usually all busted our brackets by that point. Doesn't matter anymore. But we will be doing them this time as well. I think Joseph is going to sign up and do a bracket with us through the ESPN group. Like I said, it's free. You do need to sign up with ESPN, but you can totally just cancel it after the fact. It doesn't cost anything, and I don't think they're annoying. I haven't gotten any extra emails from them anyway. But But just a fun, go in and pick your favorite colors, pick which one you like the name. I don't care. As a matter of fact, ESPN will even do an autofill, so you don't have to do anything but click a button once you're in there. Sorry, my nose is really itching. Click a button, and then who knows, you might have the winning bracket. But I love that ESPN will actually keep tabs on it for us, which is super cool. I might even decide to let Aiden and Riley go through the one that we're doing for the team, just for fun, but we'll see. Or maybe we'll just start a Pratt group in there. I haven't decided yet. We usually just do paper and pen. But if you're looking for that link, it should be in your email. If you can't find it in your email, it's in the Facebook group. If you still can't find it, then by all means, just shoot me a message and say, hey, I want to participate, but I can't find the link. And I will send it to you. It's a really long link. I should have bit.ly'd it, but I was too lazy for that. But that is all I have. So that was pretty quick, 30 minutes. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Hope you have an even better rest of your month. We have made it halfway through March. I can't wait to see how the rest of the month turns out. And if you have any questions or have any suggestions for Marketing Kid and Pet Lines, please pass those along, because I'm sure your Scentsy friends would love to hear it. Have a great night. Bye.